when we think about people when they talk about that, I love, but I don't love that person, it does not make any sense. When you have love in your heart, you can only love. You cannot do any other thing except to love. You can never, hate somebody because they have a skin tone that you don't like, or because they are short, or because they are tall, or because they have the color, or the eye color that you do not like. When you have love in your heart, you can only love because it's in your nature, it's in you. You cannot change. No entity, no being can act in opposition to its nature. Just like an orange tree cannot act in opposition to its nature and refuse to give you oranges, or instead of oranges, give you lemons. This is not possible. It's unnatural. It cannot happen. So it's the same thing with a person who is loving. A person who is loving can only give love, regardless of who the receiver of the love is. The person who's loving will always give love. But we have to understand that when I'm saying that a person who's loving can always give you love, I don't mean that he can always give you things that make you happy, because sometimes we misinterpret love as, you know, always receiving something that make us happy because that person loves. Sometimes a person who's loving may tell you the truth that hurts you out of love. You see, because at the end, their intention is not to hurt you. The intention is to relieve you or to free you of a greater pain which can occur in the future. Just like if your friend is cheating on his wife, and then because of love for him, you tell him that no, friend, you cannot cheat on his wife. Of course, he doesn't want to hear that because he wants you to support him as his friend. But when you love him, you understand that this cheating of his is gonna lead to pain for him. First of all, he can lose his wife. Second of all, he's cheating with another man's wife. Probably that man, that husband of the woman that he's cheating with, may come and kill him. So you are telling him out of love, but to him it's painful because you're contradicting what he wants to do. You're contradicting the pleasure that he wants to receive out of having sex with another woman and who's not his wife. And one person can say, but well, if I love and then I only give love without withholding my love, that means people are going to take advantage of me. Yes, that is true. In the same vein that an orange tree always gives you oranges. When an orange tree gives you oranges and you want the orange tree to keep giving you the oranges that you enjoy, you have to appreciate the orange tree by looking after it, by manuring it, by putting water over it, by pruning it so that it can produce more oranges. But if you neglect these actions of showing gratitude, of showing love back to the orange tree so it can always flourish and give you more oranges, first thing that's gonna happen, it's gonna start giving you less oranges, or it's gonna start giving you smaller oranges, or it's gonna start giving you bad tasting oranges, and eventually it may not even give you any orange at all. Why? Because it is not being given the means to be able to produce the oranges. So out of gratitude, when you look after the orange tree, it also looks after you. So in the same vein, because I'm talking about orange tree and true love, is that when you love a person and they don't appreciate your love, they don't show any gratitude, or they don't do anything that shows that they can see that you love them, that shows that they appreciate your love, you may get tired of it, because this love of yours which you put in this person is like a seed, but it almost seems like it does not bear any fruit. So you're gonna think that this is a weight. This is the justice of love. That's why the love of God is perfected by his justice. He gave Jesus Christ so people can repent and believe so that they could be saved. But he has put a time limit on this. So he's saying that there will be a time where he's gonna withhold his love. That means God is going to withdraw his love, and then the human being will have to be by himself. But the problem is that all that makes up the human being, all that make him integrate, all that make him a whole, is the love of God. But without the love of God, the human being self-destruct, because he no longer has love in his heart. He's gonna end up doing wrong things, which will always hurt him. You understand that? So even when you love, like the orange tree, which one is looked after, If it's not looked after, if it's not shown any gratitude by being manured, by being irrigated, by being pruned, it's gonna withdraw its oranges. Now the person who used to enjoy the oranges will no longer enjoy the oranges. So even in the same vein, a person who loves truly will laugh even when the person does not react accordingly, will give even when the person does not respond, appropriately. But there will come a time in which the person who truly loves is gonna say no more. You see, a woman can endure a man who cheats for years and years and years, and the man may erroneously start believing that the reason why the woman cannot stop loving him is because of him, because he's special, or because he has some kind of great way of performing sex. Not understanding the reason why the woman is loving is because the woman has love in her heart. But if this love constantly bring her pain, because it's unnatural for any being to want pain, she's gonna withdraw herself. And once she withdraws herself, now the pain will be translated to the person who was receiving the love. Now he's the one who has to suffer. And now he's gonna be shocked, but why did this woman love me for 5 years when I was doing all these wrong things? And now she doesn't want to love me anymore, no matter what I say. It's because she has seen that no matter what she has done, you cannot love her back. You cannot appreciate her love. You cannot do anything to make her happy the same way as she does everything in her power to make you happy. So she withdraws her love and she's going to give it to someone who may be happy by receiving the love and then bear fruit in terms of giving it back. Even when you try to say, I'm sorry, the reason why you'll be saying you're sorry is not because you're sorry. The reason why you're saying you're sorry is only because you are losing the person who was making you happy. So you're not really sorry because you feel bad, because you want to do better, because you have been given time and years to change. And she has always pleaded with you and tell you that you cannot keep doing this. But because you were too arrogant to see it, you do not appreciate the fruit of her labor and her love. You do not appreciate the orange tree by looking after it, by manuring it, by irrigating it. And eventually it can no longer bring any fruit. And now because it has dried out, no matter what you do, you cannot bring any fruit. It dies, it's dead. And now you cannot get any oranges. And that is all that I have to say about powerful lessons that you can learn from an orange tree about true love. Thank you for listening.